Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That is what Glamorama found out when she went after JL Patisserie. This is the second episode of Viral Moments Explained. We're getting into it right now. Hello, my friend. I was not planning on filming today, but when I saw that this situation with Glamorama and JL Patisserie was kind of wrapping up, I thought it was a really good story to bring to you because it is a fantastic representation of the evolution of influencer culture and how that affects businesses, but also how influencers are evolving in one way and how this situation kind of put a stop, like a hard stop on one way of reviewing businesses and products. This situation blew up so hard that even Keith Lee got involved. If you're not familiar with Keith Lee, he is an extremely famous, if not the most famous, food reviewer on TikTok, but we'll get to Keith in a minute. First, we need to talk about Glamorama. Who is she / was she, since she seems to have removed herself from the public eye, at least for now? At the time when her review of JL Patisserie blew up, she had about 8,000 followers. Glamorama had decided that she was going to be a food reviewer. She would go into a restaurant, she would review the food, and that would be the whole video. There are a lot of people doing this. But the way she was standing out was the way she was reviewing the food. She wanted to be kind of the snarky food reviewer that was honest. That was her persona. You'll see exactly what I mean when I play you her review of her visit to JL Patisserie, which is a French patisserie in Arizona.
People, I do not mind spending $10 on a pastry if they are really good, but you cannot use fake ass ingredients. That pistachio color is about as natural as my boobs, ass, and waistline. The coffee was super sour and acidic, but I prefer a creamy chocolatey espresso. $5 for a canali. I didn't even pay that in Santro fucking paid, but that's the price next to the Phoenix airport. Okay. I was also super disappointed in the quiche. I prefer a quiche with a thick, rich, buttery crust. This had a paper thin crust. If I wanted to ingest this much eggs, I would have eaten an omelet. I absolutely loved the pumpkin pie croissant, but everything was a little on the sweet and rich side, which some people love. Personally, I like my sweets a little less sweet, so I'd rather get treated like shit and go to Paris again. Now, with all of that being said, I think if you stay away from the expensive ingredients like these nuts, you can definitely enjoy a delicious, rich pastry here.
So when I watched this, I was thinking immediately, she's trying to make people laugh. She's trying to stand out in the food reviewer space by being different, by being funny. But in my mind, in what I'm seeing, it just sounds mean. There's all kinds of influencers out there and everyone has their different tastes, and liking mean people is a taste. It is a legitimate thing that some people like. So I can see where she was going with it. However, she did not get away with this because JL Patisserie watched her video review and decided to expose what was really happening behind the scenes.
So we recently had an influencer reach out to us and asked to do a collaboration, and we respectfully declined because it was not in our budget right now. Then she essentially tried to blackmail us by saying if we offered the food for free, she would then write a good review about us. I told her we'd think about it, but she still came in the next day. And although we hadn't agreed to collab with her, we recognized her when she came in, and we still were very accommodating and offered her extra drinks. So we totally respect a bad review. But what we don't like is lying and bullying. The first thing she said was that our pistachio was so faked. Fun fact, we have right here our pistachio paste that is 100% pistachios from Italy. All of our flours that we use in our product, the farine de blé, Ep.2, Gruyère rouge, all comes on a pallet from Europe. And also, this is our panettone flour, straight from Italy. It's written entirely in Italian. Not bad for close to the airport bakery. Beyond the fact that we spend 10 times the amount of money to buy the ingredients, the most valuable part of our product is the time we spend to make them. From our sourdough starter to our dough, every single thing is handmade from scratch.
To make this, we spent 6 months. Yeah, to learn it, how to feed it, know how to work with it.
And it only likes the flour from Italy. And this isn't just about me. This specific influencer has gone to many different local restaurants and bullied them. The problem is if the next generation is influenced by her to believe it's okay to bully and disrespect the food industry. We like working with influencers, but acting like the working class is beneath you and promoting this kind of message on social media and bribing us for free stuff is not really something we support. My biggest pride in what I've built here isn't just how I source my ingredients, but it's having found the people to be in my team that wake up every day and that care about what we do, our processes, and that work really, really hard to do this. And most of all, thank you to our customers, sincerely, because it's thanks to you that since day one, I get to live my dream of having a bakery. And thanks to your support, I've been able to continue to be as true to my art.
This is the thing. When you build your entire platform on being snarky, when someone comes back and gives you back what you gave them, but in a more honest and authentic way, you're gonna lose every single time. And that's what this bakery's account did. And I think Glamorama recognized that, because the very next day, she put up this response video to JL Patisserie's video. So let me just respond really quickly to what Glamorama said in this video.
By saying, if we offered the food for free, she would then write a good review about it. God damn, someone finally stood up to me. You know what, I gotta say, fucking kudos, for real. I respect that, I do. What I don't respect are the lies. So, here are the receipts. You want the...
Okay, let's go ahead and pause that really quickly and see what it says. She says to JL Patisserie, "Hello, many friends have highly recommended your pastries. They look amazing. I saw the pumpkin one on TikTok. I was hoping to come do a reel Saturday or Sunday. Would you be interested in a collab? Thank you." This kind of message, at least from my viewpoint, is not unusual and is quite respectful to go in and say, hey, I want to review your product. Just want to make sure, is it okay if I come in? Now, in this context, collab could mean many things. We'll find out a little bit what Glamorama meant by it. So the response from JL Patisserie was, "Hi, thanks for thinking of us. Unfortunately, right now, we have no budget at all to spare, so we wouldn't be able to do a paid partnership with you. Hope you understand. Thank you." So JL Patisserie is interpreting this, the word collab, as a paid partnership. But that's not what Glamorama meant, at least according to the next message. So she responds, "Hi, thank you for your response. I'm not sure if you're familiar with my page, but I do honest reviews. I do not charge for my content. When it's a collab," so she's going to explain, "I will still do the honest review and highlight focus on what I enjoyed and be softer and quicker on my words with what I may not like as much. If the experience is terrible, I won't post anything for the kindness of the hospitality. The meal will need to be comped, including the gratuity. If all this looks like something you would be interested in, let me know. Thank you." And in this is the blackmail aspect that JL Patisserie was saying in their video. She will still go in and give her, she's saying, an honest review, but if there are things she doesn't like, then she's going to maybe just gloss over those things. And if she doesn't like anything, she just won't post anything. However, it seems, based on what she did post after they said no, that if they don't pay, that she will just be as brutal as she wants to be, and that's just the way that it's going to be. And that is what we call cruddy. Very, very cruddy. They responded, "Okay, thank you for clarifying. I'll let the team know and we'll get back to you." And she says, "Sounds great." So this is the next morning. "Hello, I never heard back from you. We went in this morning. The staff was very kind. The pastries are beautiful, but there was definitely more miss than hit from what we ordered." And they said, "Thanks for coming by and the feedback." End.
I never said that I would leave a good review for a free meal.
No, she didn't say she would leave a good review for a free meal. What she said was she wouldn't leave a bad review if they paid her. Not paid her, but if they gave her free food, then she wouldn't be negative. But since they didn't pay her, well, all bets are off. Yikes.
I have never done that, and I will never do that. So I think it's a bit of a stretch to say that I was bullying you. You have way more followers than I do. You are way cooler than I am. I will admit that. Like, I would love to have the...
But the number of followers doesn't matter, especially on TikTok, because people with a very small following can get a very big reach very, very quickly, as she would soon find out.
Online presence that you do. So if anything, you're kind of punching down. My video got what, like 7,400, I think, maybe 12,000, 13,000 on Instagram. It didn't do great. I also said...
Punching down means that she is somehow lower or less powerful than JL Patisserie, and I don't see that in this scenario. Let me know what you think.
Nice things in that video. I actually do think if you stay away from the nuts, if you're like me that don't like that fake pistachio flavor, I still have one of your other pastries here. Well, this one was the pistachio, so It hasn't been eaten yet, but the pumpkin one that I loved and raved about, I'm not exaggerating. I ate it about 2 hours ago, and I will say it's been frozen for days since Saturday. Pulled it out after about 30 minutes. It was still phenomenal, and I'll stand by that. We also didn't get free drinks.
But she said that it was too sweet. She didn't say anything complimentary really about anything. She hated everything, is what it came down to. Even the thing she just complimented, she had said in the video that she didn't like it. It was too sweet.
We did get a free shot of espresso, which was so nice. Like, the French man that works there, he was the sweetest man ever. I said I liked my coffee strong. He sent out a free shot of espresso. That was so nice. Regardless, Jenna, I respect your balls. I do respect your talent. It may not be always my taste, but I do respect your talent. I think you make beautiful pastries. I'd work on that quiche though. And I hope both your sides of your pillow are cold at night, and I do wish you nothing but the best.
As I'm listening to this, I hear the words coming out of her mouth. I hear the compliments that she's making toward the owner, Jenna. I hear all the compliments, but what I'm feeling from the tone is just still more snarkiness. Now, of course, as all of this is going down on TikTok, as it does, people were stitching this video. They were putting in the beginning of it, and then they were adding their own commentary. And in that, food reviewer Keith Lee jumped in on the conversation because he really is the one that brought this food reviewing to like such a massive level. So many people wanting to be the next Keith Lee. As this was blowing up on TikTok, this is what Keith had to say.
So we recently had an influencer reach out to us and ask to do a collaboration.
I think it's a conversation to be had here, and I think it's very important. So let's talk about it. First, I want to say I commend the chef for her response. Not only was it respectful, it was insightful. It taught me a lot as somebody who do food reviews, because I love seeing the behind the scenes of what goes into making art. And I think making food is art. And I'm not saying none of this is a dog pile, because if you know me, you know I don't do the bullying, I don't do the dog piling, I don't do none of that. But I think it's accountability that should be taken. When I say accountability, I mean on behalf of the food reviewer. Not because she was honest and because she said she didn't like the food. I think when you start allowing money to dictate what your opinion is, or to dictate or sway anything that has to do with your opinion, I think that's when you're wrong. And I know it may be like, oh, you successful. It's easy for you to say that. I've been honest since I was on a Paw Patrol chair and I was on food stamps and I was sitting at the little breakaway table or little pull down table that my daughter had. So I'm speaking from experience. I think it's a lot of value in what it is that we do. But I think the reason why we get paid on social media is to be authentic and to be ourselves and to be honest no matter what. And I know a lot of people don't share that same sentiment, but I'm just speaking for myself. And I think it's important to not only say that, but actually put your money where your mouth is. And in my case, I'm blessed enough to say that we just sent 40 people to the state fair. And I specifically said people and not creators, because it was people who had 40 followers. It was people who had 1,000 followers. It was all the way up to 200,000 followers. But it was people who just love food. And with that being said, we coming out paternity leave very soon. And I'm not saying I'm going to this restaurant, but what I am saying is that I love pastries and I'm a bread connoisseur. So if I am invited, I would love to come and get my honest opinion. Because to me, everything looked amazing, but I would love to come see for myself. And as always, I appreciate y'all. God bless you. Have an amazing day. I'll be safe. What you do with a little is what you do with a lot. If you say you're going to be honest now and you're not honest, you ain't going to be honest when you get 100 million followers. That's the way I feel. I'll be safe.
And if you can't tell, Keith is a very unique person. He has such an amazing heart. If there is anybody that I think could be compared to the kindness and the love that people have for a person online, it's Jenna Marbles. If Jenna Marbles was a food reviewer, it would be Keith Lee. It's the same vibe. It's that kindness, it's that authenticity, and he is so incredibly loved. And when he came out and stood his ground and explained exactly what was wrong with what Glamorama had done and why we need to stay away from reviewing anything like this, TikTok got even bigger with this situation and people just ran with it. People started visiting Patisserie to try the products that Glamorama had said were terrible. They were doing their own reviews. Along with that, I saw one person who said that Glamorama had reviewed her restaurant as well, and this was her reaction.
Okay, I wanted to contribute to the conversation going around the Patisserie and Glamorama. And now that she's off the app, I feel safe. So, sorry, I'm a pansy. About a year ago, she came into my place of work here in the Valley and made a TikTok about it and posted it, and she was not kind. She was very mean. She didn't have anything nice really to say about where I work or how my service was, and I didn't say anything about it. I was quiet, and my coworkers asked me if I was going to talk about it or if I was going to post about it. And I didn't. I was quiet. We were quiet because we let the universe do the job for us. And it did. And all I can say is that I'm glad that another bully is off the internet.
Remember, when Glamorama started getting all this feedback, she only had 8,000 followers. She was not used to this many people commenting on things that she had done, especially this many people angry with her, telling her she's a terrible person. I can only imagine how hard that was for her. Even though, yes, she did it to herself, yes, she was being a terrible person, it's still difficult to be in that situation. So she reacted in a way that surprised a lot of people, in that she didn't capitalize on all of the attention. She shut down. This is JV Gonzalez to explain.
Did you guys see this? I thought my days of covering the glamorama drama are over, but apparently someone took over her name because she changed her account's name to Aurora G. And she says this in her bio. And the account is like continuing on with the story, and people are commenting on it like it's her. But then someone also said this, which, a friend of a friend, sure, whatever. It just makes me wonder, what's the point of changing your username, Aurora? Is it to hide? Or is it because of what everyone was saying, is that you're just gonna wait for things to blow over and then restart again, now with all of these new followers since she started at 8K apparently? Which for me, I genuinely would love to see her take the lessons that everybody has kind of thrown at her and see what she'll do with that, right? I think that's a perfect opportunity for her for growth. I also still want a response from my comments since she decided to answer me. But if she wanted my opinion in all of this, I think if she was gonna start a new account, she still needs to address the situation head on. And she just needs to apologize and just needs to own up and take accountability and then be like, hey, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna take all of these lessons and I'm gonna move on and do another thing that I really love and I'm passionate about without being harmful to other businesses or other people. It would be such a great story arc for her.
She tagged JL Patisserie and she says, first and foremost, I want to address the fake ass ingredients comment. When I tasted the pistachio pastry, I noticed a strong pistachio flavor that reminded me of extractor flavoring, so I assumed that was what was used to enhance the taste. Maybe it was added, maybe it wasn't, but I want to be clear they do use real ingredients as well, and I should have been more thoughtful with my wording. So at least she's admitting now that she made a mistake-ish. Okay. I also want to clarify something really important. My review is not revenge for being turned down for a collaboration. I'd already planned to visit and review the bakery regardless, paid or not, but I understand with how things unfolded, it might have looked like I did out of spite. That's not who I am, and that was never my intention. Intention or not, that is what happens. And we talk about how intention works like that. If you accidentally hit someone with your car, that person's still hurt. They're still injured, even if it was an accident. I don't personally feel in my gut that this was unintentional. I think that the response to it was unintentional. She didn't know that was going to happen. And I think that's where this is stemming from. But that's just my opinion. She continues, for those who followed me for a while, you know I always give honest reviews, good or bad, but also I understand that honesty without compassion can come across the wrong way. She understands that now is what it sounds like. When the collaboration didn't work out, I completely respected that and went in as a regular paying customer. She literally only waited overnight, so that's kind of weird to me. My goal was still to give an honest review, but I see how that message followed by a negative video made it seem like I only wanted free food or felt entitled, and that's not true. That was never my mindset, and I truly regret that it came across that way. To the bakery, I'm sincerely sorry for any harm my words may have caused. I respect the time, effort, and heart that goes into running a small business, and I genuinely wish you nothing but success moving forward. At the end of the day, we're all human. Sometimes we mess up publicly, and all we can do is take accountability, learn, and grow from it. And I think this is where people had an issue, because it sounds like it's kind of like the video that she did, where her words are saying she's taking accountability, but the way she's wording it and the tone of it all, it's not very believable. In my opinion, a more believable thing to say would have been something like, I am just getting started being an influencer, and I was ignorant to how collaborations and product for review worked, and I made a mistake, and I thought it worked one way. I've now learned that it worked another way, and I apologize. I know the way my video was filmed came off as rude, and I apologize. I apologize to JL Patisserie, and I will not be reviewing food like that ever again. I'm going to continue to review food, but I promise I will make adjustments to how I'm doing it to make sure that it is more honest and fair. Like something like that. I don't know. I just thought of that. She finishes up the message by saying, "Thank you to everyone who reached out with kindness and even to those who've held me accountable. I hear you, and I'm using this as an opportunity to grow and do better." And she kind of wraps it up in a really nice way. And I love that she didn't use the word "I was canceled," that she's saying people are holding her accountable, which is accurate. But of course, the internet is going to internet. And a lot of people did not see that or did not believe it to be genuine. And the saga continued.
This is apparently the last and final post of Glamorama on her page, but did you see the apology before it? Because I did, and I'm pretty sure that's the one that she wrote, not this one.
You can see that this is from the Glamorama account. Let's read each slide as JV shows them. First, you won. This will be my last video. I'm done creating reels and TikToks for good. I offered to promote a business for free if it was good. Many content creators charge up to $4K. I do for free so I can do an honest review. If it's great, I post it with softer words. When I don't like something, for example, I didn't love this item versus this tasted like shit. Still honest, just nicer.
Because if you read closely,
and if it's terrible, I give the feedback privately and don't post for the hospitality instead of blasting a business that invited me into their place. I went to JL and paid full price for my pastries and did not say who I was or ask for anything. I even had a hook I thought of for a positive review when we arrived because I thought it was going to be great. I didn't care that they didn't want to collab. Most businesses don't, and that's fine. I know I'm controversial.
this is in her tone of voice, much like the rest of her videos.
I have thousands of DMs threatening violence against me and my family. If you stop to think for just a moment, maybe you will see the bigger picture here. A mob came after me. People hate influencers, and using words like blackmail and bullying can invoke rage. There was absolutely no blackmail or bullying if you read the actual messages. I didn't tell them to turn down the music. I couldn't understand the man with the French accent, but I didn't want to make him feel bad, so I asked if he could repeat himself because the music was too loud. Because I paid, I did an unfiltered review. This is just my commentary in here. It's very clear through this that she still didn't understand that what she had done actually was kind of blackmail-y. It's right here. Because I paid, I did an unfiltered review. If she hadn't paid, she would have filtered it. That is blackmail. Anyway, continuing. I sent messages to Jenna showing her the bullying, and she read it and did nothing. Just thanked everyone for their support. I spent thousands eating shitty meals influencers told me were amazing so they could make their 2 to 4K. That's why I started doing this. I've been offered so much money and have always turned it down because I wanted to do authentic, entertaining, and honest reviews. Promoting a business is work. 2 hours to get ready, 1 hour driving, 2 hours there. 2 hours editing, 7 hours of work I was happy to do for free because I am a small creator, so I wasn't able to monetize on TikTok. And that's true. You do have to have 10,000 followers to monetize. She only had 8 at the time. Here's the last slide. I never went after small businesses. When I had a shit meal, I wouldn't post it because I knew it could hurt them. I only left negative reviews on big businesses that I knew wouldn't actually be affected, and my hope was that they would do better. But the trolls win. This is not worth my life or my peace. I'm leaving Arizona. Thank you to everyone who supported me and was kind enough to message me during this difficult time. You will never know how much it meant to me. With 3 heart emojis. Now back to JV's commentary.
Let me say for the record that no one should be sending her any threatening messages. Constructive, sure. Threatening, no. But now you're reaching out to JL Patisserie to have them stop people from messaging you? I'm sorry. What do they owe you at this point? Once again, just shows your lack of accountability and your entitlement. Did you think about the repercussions on what it could have for them? You suggested that the ingredients that they're using was fake? She had to make this video. I lived in France for 2 years, and let me tell you something. The French are serious about their bread, about their pastries, about their food. Much like any business owner, if someone was saying that something you're serving is fake, this is the perfect way to go about it. But did you think about that when you were saying that? So why should she help you out at this point? You've been offered so much money but have turned it down. So then why is it that you're targeting JL Patisserie then for their money? And what does this have to do with anything? If you're so jealous of these influencers, why not do what they're doing? No one is denying any of this. People are questioning the authenticity of it, of course. And babe, if you had a hook for a positive review, why not do it? Because at this point, I feel like the internet is expansive enough and there are so many businesses out there that people are actually looking for genuine food reviews and good food reviews so that they don't waste their time on bad ones. Because this entire thing could have been avoided if you were a little bit more compassionate. If you showed compassion that you are now asking for from everybody else. And what I just want, and I hope that you listen to this, the fact that you can do this right now, coming from a small creator/influencer myself that doesn't have as much followings, that doesn't have all of these things, but is still willing to give good businesses support because I know that it'll come around one day or another. The fact that you can uproot your entire life because you made a bad decision like this shows how much privilege you have in the world. But Aurora, if you come back, like many people are saying, as this blows over, just remind yourself you catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
The sales for JL Patisserie went wild. I'm talking lines out the door, tons and tons of reviews from small creators, big creators, just casual people that are just going in and trying it and maybe haven't even made that many videos on TikTok, are going in, reviewing the pastries and saying how much they love what they've been ordering. I saw this video on JL Patisserie's TikTok today and it just brought me so much joy for her. Like, this was like the best possible outcome for Jenna and her team.
Hello guys, I just wanted to let you know that we will be closed next Tuesday, October 28th. It hasn't been since COVID that I closed the store an extra day a week. I don't want to disappoint you. And I know a lot of you guys are coming long ways to show your support and I wish I could be there all the time. But it is necessary for my team to get an extra day next week to prepare, especially being Halloween. The team's been working really hard on making little monster cakes and danishes and specialty product that showcase their true talent. We're going to be making a lot of very cool specials. And so I do want to make sure that I give my team enough time to put all of that together and have enough special for the weekend for you, all of you guys to try it. I know a lot of you guys wants to pre-order it, but to be sure that we have enough for everything and everyone, we gonna do in-store sales only. And also I'm gonna try to virtually take you behind the scene of what it is like to prep for a big holiday. And I'm very excited to have you guys see what we do. Stay tuned because it's gonna be very exciting. I'm very thrilled to show you guys what we're making right now.
And as things are going so well for JL Patisserie, one of the best possible things happened to them. Keith Lee flew all the way out to Arizona just to eat at her patisserie.
Me and my family are in Scottsdale, Arizona, and in my hand is pastries that I've been dying, and that's not exaggeration, been dying to try. So I got off paternity leave early and took a red-eye flight just to come here. In my opinion, was it worth the travel? Let's find out together. I got it, let's try it, and rate it 1 through 10. We spent $51.56. The customer service, my family said, it was excellent. That was the exact word they used. I'm mind blown. The lady that you see in the video is the lady that you see when you get here. She is cleaning tables. She's the owner. She the chef. She the cashier. She the lady on a voicemail when you call the phone number. She the face of their social media.
Please note that we are not able to take any phone orders at this time.
This lady do everything, but she also got a great team behind her. And I love when people are who they say they are. And I'm extremely excited. I'm gonna show you the thing I got, and we're gonna try it and rate it 1 through 10. A chocolate croissant, an almond croissant, a pistachio cookie, a black sesame cruffin. A cruffin is a croissant muffin, an experimental and seasonal miso Danish, and pistachio macarons. I wanted the pistachio croissant, but they were sold out. Very understandably. Let's see, I ain't been this excited in a minute. This is a chocolate croissant. The layers that you can see, I can see you through here. This looks like the croissant we got when we was in Paris. And I haven't said that since we left Paris. Girl, I'm about to hurt myself. I can already tell. In my opinion, I don't even need this warmed up. Buttery, flaky, extremely fresh. I'm talking about you could tell they making these in the back. Who that in the back? As somebody who loves chocolate croissants, this is high. 9.2 out of 10. I get a box of these and you won't hear nothing from me. This is the almond croissant. Now, I'm not a huge fan of almond croissants, only because they have like a filling. I'm not mad at that. The texture for me as a texture person is a little too soft. It's almost like a soggy croissant. The flavors are very subtle, but yet you can still taste them. It's not overly powerful when it comes to the almond flavor. So for that reason, in my opinion, I give this a 7.6 out of 10. I eat it though. I eat the whole thing. I wouldn't complain about it. Now here we go. Now we into the uncharted territory. This is a black sesame cruffin. Again, a cruffin is a croissant muffin. You can see the layers on it, but it has the shape of a muffin. And it's filled with something. I'm gonna just tear it right down the middle.
It gotta be strawberry. Oh my God.
Oh. I done got that feeling everywhere. Oh my God. It's a 10.
First 10.
It's a 10. The reason I say it's a 10, other than the fact that being an amazing texture, I think the strawberry filling itself is not only super fresh, it's a little sour, and then you get the super savoriness of the sesame itself. So it's like a perfect balance. It's buttery, it's flaky, it's savory, it's sweet, it's sour. I'm talking about.
Well, good thing you don't live close.
Smack it and suck it face.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, I'm not sharing this one. Oh, it's over. This is the miso, and now it's sesame and strawberry too. But this is the miso Danish.
Take a big bite.
Like you dip the biscuit in like a potato, carrot, beef stew. Yeah, that's not for me. The flavors itself individually are extremely potent. They all stand out individually, so it's a little overwhelming in my opinion. But I do like the artistic direction she went. And she experimented with stuff, which means she really loved what she do. And I can always appreciate that. So for me, this is a 3 out of 10. I was stuck between like a 2.5 to a 3. This is one of the main things we came for. Pistachio cookie. At first, I was gonna say it's too sweet. But then you get the salt on the back end. It's so soft. It's like a salted caramel, but it's super nutty. It's super rich. Only reason it's not extremely high for me is because it is still, for me, this is a 7.8 out of 10. I want to make it very clear. This is not in any way or shape or form to bully or to talk down on the original creator who came here. I just believe our opinions are different. And in my opinion, this is easily one of the best baker shops I've ever been to. And it's not even close. And I commend, I respect, and I take my hat off to the owner from not only an attention to detail perspective when it comes to the food, but just as far as I can see as a leader. And I'm just happy we came. We want to leave $4,000 for you.
No.
Yeah, please.
No.
We want to leave $2,000 as a tip and then $2,000 to pay for anybody to come in line and eat.
Wow, you guys are amazing. So can I have the 2,000 split across my whole team?
Absolutely,
Okay,
of course you can.
I would like that if I can.
That's amazing.
You really don't have to do that. This is like, I'm
it's a
shaking
pleasure
because
of
I
mine.
didn't even know you were here. I'm just like running around.
That's even better. Always after this, I thank God in advance that they reach their target audience. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe.
And what I love about Keith is that he genuinely was honest. He didn't love everything. He just did the thing that Keith Lee does. And he did what was expected of him. And no one expected him to just give this glowing review for no reason. That would be against his brand. So he could go in and be honest about things and give honest feedback. But the thing is, he didn't do it in a mean way. And that is the Keith Lee effect. That is how he has become who he is in that influencer space. And I am sure that this is going to blow up this bakery even more, because that's just what happens when Keith Lee reviews a place positively. Final thoughts. I have been doing content on YouTube since 2006. This channel started in 2012. I have watched the evolution from the inside of the influencer space. And what I can tell you is that I am so glad that this went the way that it did. I am not happy that Glamorama had to have this experience of, trial by fire. I'm not happy about that, but at the same time, we need to understand where the line is as far as reviewing, because it has gotten out of control as far as, mean people being rewarded and dishonest reviews being rewarded. It's nice to see the general public come together and say, you know what, this crosses a line, because it absolutely did. But at this point, I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think of this whole situation? Did you know about it? Is this new to you? I would love to know any and all thoughts down in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I do want to throw these in every once in a while with my cosmetic industry stuff. The last one that I did was about Sydney Sweeney's great jeans or whatever that was. I will link that next to me in case you would like to watch it. And if you like this kind of content, definitely let me know in the comments down below if I should do more of these just general influencer, general trends, general things that are happening across the internet kinds of videos. I'd love your feedback. Thanks for watching. Mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon.